Hi, I'm Graham, Managing Director at Cheeky Monkey. Cheeky Monkey has been in business for over 20 years and provides IT services to our clients throughout the UK. And today I'm lucky enough to have Natalie with me, who's a subject matter expert in cybersecurity. Welcome, Natalie.
Thank you for having me.
We've seen some incidents where people change bank details to try and get people to pay bills to different
Yes.
accounts. And is that something that's picked up through security awareness training? What else would you put in
That
place?
is a perfect example of what happens when you don't have all three pillars: people, process, and technology. So in that case, you have the people.
Yes.
Maybe the people aren't fully trained on how they're supposed to handle wire transfers.
Yep.
And you have the technology to complete the wire transfer, but you're most likely missing the processes that say this is specifically how you do this. Like you never change the routing number for a payment over such and such a figure without going to the VP of finance, for instance. So missing that one point can really hurt you. And that's where you see things like that. People don't have the process and procedure down for how they're supposed to make that change and then wire money. Because you do see it where money gets wired to the wrong place.
Yeah, and you talked about the people training piece. Are you seeing people and businesses build that into their HR policies?
Yes, HR policies, security awareness training. Trying to keep the secure. Maybe phishing testing, where they send out fake phishing emails, and they report, see who needs like remedial security awareness training.
Okay, some additional support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, just training on the processes and procedures that a business should use. Like, under what circumstances, again, do I change that financial information? Under what circumstances do I allow someone who's wearing, I believe here it's a yellow vest
Yeah.
and a hard hat and a clipboard, should I let that person into a secure area? What do I
Yes.
need from them before I allow them in?
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
And people are building that into sort of the induction piece of onboarding new employees.
They should. They should do it on onboarding, and they should do it periodically. I know that I feel like it's all the time, but we definitely get phishing. We get fish tested at ConnectWise. We do have security awareness training through our university system, and there's fun ways to do it. You could have lunch and learns. You could treat all of your staff to lunch.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I think they would. And then you could talk to them. You could talk to them about a specific policy and procedure that you're implementing. You could maybe use it to practice your incident response plan and talk about training that way. You can train them you want to be nice though. You don't ever want to send an email to someone as a phishing test to say, hey, click here because you've just gotten a phenomenal raise, right?
Yeah, that
Make
would
it
be.
make
Yeah.
it realist. That's just being a jerk.
Yeah.
That's just being
We wouldn't want that.
yeah, but doing things like that, having a lunch and learn, maybe have someone from the outside come in and do the trainings to make it a little more exciting, to do some kind of live training, kind of gamify it.
Yeah, I've heard there are certain games that you can play to test incident response.
There are, yeah. We played it just the other day here, Backdoors and Breaches.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a fun little game.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of those things?
Sure. Yeah. So you don't have to have if you want to practice with your team kind of what an incident response plan session looks like, and you don't want to go through creating up a whole scenario, it's a little card deck, and it's available online. And he's a security expert, the guy who invented it. And it's a little game where it has prepackaged incidents that have happened, and then there are responses. And just to add a little fun, you use a little 20-sided die. So if I could be a geek for a
Okay.
moment,
Yeah.
like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So you have like an incident master instead of a dungeon master, and they draw the incident card and they say what happened, and the others have he draws a bunch of cards. He draws the incident, and he draws what actually happened, what was breached, whatever, and then they pick responses like I should use my SIM, or I should analyze the logs, or I should look at my EDR. And not only do they do the cards, but they roll the die, and then there's a modifier that goes with their action, and that decides whether they were, first of all, the dungeon master, master, looks at the cards and sees if what they picked could actually be useful in the particular situation. And then if it can, they have to look at the modifier on the dice to see if that says they were also successful. And the way they kind of win the game is they get to get rid of those cards. So they get a few cards. As they get rid of them, or they guess all 4 cards that the dungeon master is holding, then that's how a team wins. And it kind of shows you the steps, because it has lots of references in it. So it has lots of URLs that explains terms like phishing, or explains attacks or threat actors.
Yeah, because it's quite a complex world
It is.
for a lot of business owners.
Yeah, it is. It's just a fun way to do it.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's a great thing to do.
Yeah.